Welcome back. Hello. Okay. Houston. Stream now. Aha. One viewer. Me. 3 viewers. Stream is good. Let me hurry up and do this. Set the meta tag. And copy paste. Cool. Four, 6 viewers. England wins Stanley Cup. Did that save? Wait a second. All changes saved. Hello. Monetize with ads. Save. And change to being saved. All changes saved. Yay! Hey everybody. How you doing? Then I will go view on watch page. And I will type hello. And I hear that awful noise. So what I'm going to do is turn this around. Like so. Like that. Ta-da. And then like that. And put that there. Oh, and that's a little bit foggy. So, bear with me. So there are, and I gotta turn the sound to mute so I don't get that. Better. Hey Octavio, how you doing? I'm going to just do this the old-fashioned spit and polish way. Hold on a second. One moment, please. There. See, that should do it, I believe. And okay. Hello everybody, welcome to Zenny62 livestream. Sorry about the interruption, but as you can tell, the lens is better. Hey Sitan, hey ML Scott, hey Octavio, hey Crawford, hey Donis. Wait a minute, Donis just saw Wonder Woman. Nice. Nice. So what, did you like it? Did you like it? Wow. Did you like it? Okay, so there's 10 watching. And 2 thumbs up. Someone gave a thumbs down, I guess because they're upset that the Penguins won the Stanley Cup. Sorry. I wasn't rooting for them, but it happened. And so, Donis, what did you think of Wonder Woman, which gained $435 million worldwide box office in only its second weekend? Only its second weekend. And Monday will be a historic day all around Oakland. It certainly will. I completely agree. Yep. It was just okay. What was it? I thought it was outstanding. I was going to see it again this weekend, but why was it just okay to you? I'm curious. Well, Donis, what did you like about it? Donis says it was 10-4. What is that 10-4 thing? Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They are the first NHL back-to-back Stanley Cup winners in history. Never been done before. Wow. So the kind of excellence we've come to expect in NFL play and in NBA play, is it fair to say it's coming to the NHL? Are the Pittsburgh Penguins really that much better? What do you think? I don't know. Donis says the story was great. 10-4 means yes. I get it. I like it. 10-4, good buddy. I get you. Okay. I get you. John Davis says, never a fan of Wonder Woman, so... no, wait a minute. John Davis says he's never a fan of Wonder Women. Plural. So it's not high on his list. Is that to say that you don't like strong, athletic, confident women. God, he corrected himself. He went from women, plural, to Wonder Woman, singular, thereby referring to the character. Got it. had to get you with that one, John. Had to get you with that. Did anybody watch the Stanley Club? Stanley, did I say Stanley Club? Klep? Kloop? Stanley Cup. Did anyone watch the Stanley Cup? That's kind of like Sunshine Day. You know? Everybody's laughing, Sunshine Day. I can say that. John Davis says, well, let's say I'd rather watch Arnold as the Terminator instead of some chick. I would rather watch some chick than Arnold as the Terminator. Let me put it that way. That's a no-brainer for me. I'm like, okay. Octavio's watching U.S. soccer. Who's your favorite soccer player? Octavio, who's your favorite soccer player? And I'm waiting. Octavio's, yeah, rest in peace, Adam West. Definitely. Sad news. Right Zini is not a soccer player. Messi, got it. Messi, have you met him? Because you're down in his neck of the woods, right? I'm just saying. Stanley, have you ever been in the same building as Messi? Is it Messi or Messier? Messi. I wonder how you say that. No, you're not. Well, that makes two of us. John Davis, are you saying you prefer the Terminator over... I'm still processing this. John Davis says, lightning storm messing with the power, so I'm turning off for a little. Hey, be careful of those lightning storms, Mr. Davis. That's not a good place to be in when you have to deal with lightning storms. That's not a good place at all. At all. So, we will see you later. So he's dealing with the lightning storms. Octavio says the story had flaws. I'm curious to know what flaws did you feel the story had, from your estimation? What did you feel was wrong with the story? While you type that out, just curious. What did you not like about it? Were you concerned about? What were you concerned about? Was it too long, or was it, or what? What was it that was just not, there for you? What was it that was just not doing it? Donna says, hey, who won between USA and Mexico for World Cup spot? Octavio? Tell him. Octavio says, too quick from Mediterranean to London. Who is Mr. Meep? I have no idea who Mr. Meep is. Mr. Meep says hello. And to which my friend running my Zenny62 channel says hello. That's the other. I have another YouTube channel. So that's me. When that person says hello, it's not actually me, but it's another, it's someone connected with the organization. I have a growing organization, as you would guess. So who is that person? So, all right. I would say hello. Hello. Cool. Now, the story had flaws. What flaws? What flaws? I love the story. I loved it. Well, I'm not getting an explanation, so I can see this is going to be a long haul getting a comment out of you guys. So I'll say that, first of all, let's talk about what the Pittsburgh Penguins did, all right? Let's go back and talk Penguins. Because Penguins. Pittsburgh Penguins, they won 2-1. That was the final. And over the Nashville Predators. And hey everybody that's just tuned in, we're going to talk Pittsburgh Penguins for a little bit. They won the NHL Stanley Cup final against the Nashville Predators 4-2, which is sad because people like myself and probably you were rooting for the underdog Nashville Predators to beat the Pittsburgh Penguins. They didn't get it done. And not only that, the Penguins won on Nashville soil, okay? Which is really gotta hurt. So we take a look at the scores and schedules and everything, and what we find is, first of all, it was a series that kind of looked like, Nashville was going to make a game of it, and that did not happen. It just did not happen. We have not just the 2-1, we look at the box score, and we'll see who the players are. And we have, let's see here. First of all, the Penguins have won their fifth Stanley Cup. They became the 7th team to win the title 5 times, and the 5th to repeat as champions twice. So the headline that I heard read that they were the first team in the NHL history to win back-to-back is wrong. Well, wait a minute. They're the 5th to repeat as champions twice. Yeah, so that is wrong. They repeated as champions, but they're not the first to do it. On, I believe it was MSNBC, the announcer said, "Oh, the Pittsburgh Penguins become the first team in NHL history to win back-to-back Stanley Cups." And I'm thinking, really? Really? No. Like that, is that really? And then I repeated it like an idiot, which I had no business doing, knowing that was wrong. Ugh. It's been a long day, folks. Forgive me. It's been a long day. Penguin joined the Edmonton Oilers as the teams added to after the original 6 to do so. The Penguins are the first team to repeat since the Detroit Red Wings in 1997 and 98, which might explain the hiccup in information. Undoubtedly, the person that made that announcement probably wasn't even paying attention back then. I mean, think about it. That is before the turn of the 21st century. So that person, I would bet, was probably the person who said that was probably in their teens at about that time. Yeah, just a guess. It's a definite guess. So now we have 20 watching, and reset. We've got, wow, you've got all these comments that came through here. Donna says Gal Gadot is hot. Now I'm getting these, because before I wasn't getting your comments. It just froze. James McClendon. Hey, Mr. McClendon, how are you? McClendon says, hello, Zenster. You said Oakland Raider fans make history. I did say that. I'll get to that in a second. I'm leading up to that. Shut-in Sessions, how are you doing? Welcome. He says, hi, Zinni. He or she. Octavio says, USA is on 3rd place behind Mexico and Costa Rica. Octavio says, don't watch hockey. Octavio Arias says, only played broomball. Donis says, and I'm going to the Raider fans press conference. Oh, cool. Did you tell them you're coming? Because Donis, you're going to be there. That means, do you need special arrangements made for you? Because I can help arrange that tonight. Okay. Have they invited you to speak? Because they should have you up there saying something. And Donis says research on. And so, let's see here. I wonder who else is going to be there. We got Donis is going to be there. I know Mike Lowry's going to be there. Hey, Rick Rice, how you doing? And Donis said they did not contact you about a speaking role. Okay, I'll notify the proper authorities. How's that? Tonight. Octavio Arias says, hope fans stop, move, and send the NFL rollover. Donis says, should I? I think you should. Why not? Octavio Arias says, see. I mean, let me put it this way, Donis. There's like a core group that are going to be speaking, and there's a tight schedule. So I'll put the word out. Don't expect it, all right, because of the lateness of the hour. But I'll let them know you're coming, because you are a special Raider fan. You also have special needs and should be appropriately accommodated. And that's just the way that is, okay? And that has to be said straight out, all right? So I will let them know tonight. I'm 3 hours ahead of them, and right now it's 12:18 here, 9:18 there. So yeah, so I will definitely do that. James McClendon says, "Hey Zinster, I'm getting a little nervous with the Warriors. Are they going to take it? I hope so. I'm mixed. I have mixed emotions, James, because part of me hopes the Warriors do win tomorrow night. Part of me expects the Warriors to win tomorrow night. The other part of me is hopeful that there's a game 7 so I can get back to Oakland, and when the Warriors win, I could be there for the celebration." Is that selfish? Yes, that's selfish. I admit that's selfish. Wait a minute. So James McClendon, well, this is great. James is going. We have James going to the press conference. Donis is going, right? We've got Richard. Richard said he was going the other night. We've got, I know Mike Lowry is going. We've got Bossman going. Okay. Those are the people that are going that I know of so far. Anybody else on this list? That's funny in 7. That's funny. What does that mean, James? You said that's funny in 7. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Richard Stewart says, "I'm sick and tired of Pittsburgh owning our state. They keep winning championships between the Penguins and the Steelers. And even the Pirates have owned this. Philadelphia needs a dynasty." But Richard, I do remind you of one thing. You represent the first city in Pennsylvania to host the NFL draft in the 21st century. You got that over Pittsburgh, right? You got to have something. Hey, John, how are you doing? Welcoming John Marks to the John Marks. And Baus is here? I don't think Bausman is. He might be watching. Hey, everybody. Give a thumbs up, by the way. I think someone watching, yes, thumbs up. Helps us get the word out and everything else. Now, to those who might be watching who are Pittsburgh Penguins fans, Hector, how you doing? Hector says, "Is this conference going to be a game changer?" The fact that it's already called, Hector, makes it a game changer. So it's, unless something happens where it doesn't happen, which I can't see because I know Sandra's setting things up right now, they've already made history. They have not just any lawyer, but celebrity sports lawyers flying out here, retained, to be in the middle of a historic fan-driven effort. An effort that's truly grassroots. And you know what? That's a major part of the battle. It's one thing to talk and something else to do. This is due. This is really due. Now, James McClendon says, "Now if it goes in 7, you're talking about the Warriors. If it goes in 7, I will be in a terrified mode, and you feel good about it." Yeah, actually I do. I feel good about it because the Warriors are a fundamentally better team, okay? But there is that trickery. There are things like the refs seemingly trying to give certain games to the Cavs. You get the idea. So the Warriors have to, in my view, overcome that. Now, Donut says, "Being there is important enough," talking about the press conference. John Mark says, "Mark Davis better be shaking in his boots." Hey, John, are you going to be at the press conference? You live in the Bay Area, right? Hector says, "NFL is mafia." John Mark says, "Nope, Warriors in 5. Which means tomorrow, that's it." Golden State Raider. Hey, Golden State, how are you? Warriors in 5. James McClendon says, "What's up, boss man?" John Mark says, "I used to." Oh, that's right. Where'd you move to? Golden State says, "Hi." Hey, how you doing, Raid? How you doing, Golden State? Hey, hello. You said hi. I say hi back. You're saying hi. I'm saying hi back. Hi. This is cool. Kelso, Washington. John Marks lives in... Where? John, where is Kelso, Washington? Okay, the Pacific Ocean is here. This is state of Washington. Seattle is here. I believe Eugene... I mean, not Eugene, but Everett, Washington is here where the Boeing plant is. Yakima, Washington is over here, which is the home of a woman I really had a crush on in undergraduate school. Worked at the TGI Fridays in Arlington, Texas. But oh well. But where is Kelso, Washington? John Mark says 39 north. I guess means 39 miles north of Portland, Oregon. So is Kelso on the bottom end here? In other words, it's on the way to Seattle, right? Is that it? 39 miles. Golden State Raiders says tomorrow will be the defining moment for Warriors. Actually, tomorrow will be a defining moment in Oakland sports history. Because not only will you have Game 5 of the finals, which could very well be the deciding NBA Finals game, but you'll have that morning the great Oakland Raider fan press conference announcing their legal strategy against the Las Vegas relocation plan. So, now, Hector says, is this going to be on the news like KTVU or KRON? Well, not only that, it'll be on CNN. It'll be on... I would be surprised if ESPN didn't mention it. If ESPN didn't mention it, they would be giving ratings over to CNN. So folks, watch CNN just in case ESPN plays games because ESPN is affiliated with the NFL. Just saying. All right? Now, just saying. But yes, KTVU will be there, KGO, KRON, and the Sports Fury says, if the Cavs come back and win this series, will this put LeBron over Jordan for good? No. Golden State Raiders says, I'm not getting my hopes up for Raiders move. Good. Octavio says, NFL Network. I don't expect the NFL Network to be there, but we'll see. John Mark says, will CNN cover the press conference? Yes, CNN will cover the press conference. Dorian says, LeBron will never be over Jordan. LeBron isn't even better than Kobe. Ooh. To which Octavio laughs out loud. James McClendon says, do you believe the NFL can reverse its decision for relocation? I believe anything is possible. Yes, I do. Because the Raiders are very slow to sign that non-relocation agreement. And I figured out that just by analyzing other deals, not just in the NFL, but in other sport that have non-relocation agreements, those non-relocation agreements have become linchpin documents of importance to secure long-term bond issues. Let me give you an example. The Atlanta Falcons signed one. Let me give you another example. There was one signed with respect to Florida. And not the Marlins, but the other team that just flew right out of my head, building a new stadium, they signed a non-relocation agreement. There are at least 4 instances of sports organizations, recently signing non-relocation agreements as part of long-term, when I mean 30-year, 20-year, 30-year bond issues to pay for new facilities, new sport facilities. So the Raiders are falling in line with that, but the Raiders, being the Raiders, have dragged their feet on it. So, and Donis says, CNN is too busy with Trump. Donis, CNN will be there. Golden State Raider says, it's just an approval, right, Zenny? It's not set in stone. Golden State Raider, what do you mean by that? Octavio says, it all depends on court decisions. Yes. Rafael Dominguez, I notice every time they compare Jordan to someone else, like Kobe and LeBron, they never mention that they came straight out of high school and have an advantage of 4 years playing. No, that's true. That is true. That is true. LeBron came straight out of high school, so did Kobe. So I think it's more appropriate to compare Kobe and LeBron, right? Octavio says, question, Dolphins? No, yeah, actually it was the Dolphins. It was the Dolphins. John Mark says he's going to follow KTVU. Hector Vasquez says, to this day, Ronnie Lott hasn't said anything before the vote happened. Well, at least not publicly. It's the sports period. Do you see more NFL teams potentially relocating? Well, everyone has the collective eye on Buffalo because Buffalo is in a small market. It's playing in an old stadium situation, and it's a team that is regarded because of those two factors as not being able to perform to its revenue potential. So, is Buffalo the next target for relocation? Sure. The question is, where would Buffalo go? Oakland? I just threw that out there. The Oakland Bills? The Oakland Bills. The Buffalo, you know what? The Buffalo Bills. The Oakland legacy? I know it's heresy to talk that way, but you have to wonder, in this topsy-turvy world of relocation, if that's a possible. Well, it is. Anything is possible. Oakland could turn around tomorrow, and the mayor could say, "Hey, you know what? I think we're going to make a play for those Bills." Now, that's fantasy. Will that happen in reality? Hell no. Absolutely not. But, we can speculate. Would it be popular with the fans? Buffalo Bills fans would have a baby. Oakland Raiders fans would have a baby. Okay? So, maybe two. But the reason why I invite that as a possibility, as remote as it is because Oakland is a very strong market. And if the Bills, it could be leverage. For example, you could use, as I think about this, the NFL could use the Bills as a way of maybe coercing the Raiders to reconsider what they're doing, right? And then coming back to the owners. Now, some of you watching this are like, ha, 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 that's completely crazy. Yeah, I know, it's all fantasy. I completely admit it's fantasy. Now, look, people are just blowing up. Oh, no. Emil Scott's like, oh, no. Donna says, Oakland Bills, yuck. John Mark says, I remember the Patriots were considering moving to Oakland in the 1990s. See? Hector Vasquez says, Las Vegas Bills or Las Vegas Jaguars. I like that sound of that better. John Mark says, Oakland Bills, never. Octavio Arias says, Oakland could take the club and keep the Raiders' name. There. Now, and Golden State Raider says, Zinni, the NBA is considering to take out the one and done eligibility to make high school players draft eligible. And they should do that. Jordan Yancey, Jordan, welcome, how are you? Jordan says, but when we be in the same position with no stadium in Oakland? Well, there's a plan. The Sports Free says, do you see, and that's what the Sports Free got us talking about this because he or she asked, do you see more NFL teams potentially relocating? And I not only took the bait, I decided to have some fun with it. Now, Donkey says, hey, Donkey, how are you? Donkey says, I think we all agree Raiders is the only team that belongs in Oakland. John Mark says, I agree with Donkey. Donkey wins. Dorian says, Dorian says this, move Chargers to Las Vegas, Raiders stay in Oakland. If Oakland officials won't or can't give Raiders a new stadium, bring Raiders to LA. I see how that goes. That's an interesting scenario. Hector Vasquez says, is the sports lawyer good enough to take on the football mafia? Hector, the sports lawyer's name is James Quinn. Is the sports lawyer. And he's beaten the NFL not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 times. That should answer your question right there. Now, Donkey, how you doing? John Mark says, Donkey punch to Las Vegas. James McClendon says, the relocation moving chairs game is a loaded keg of dynamite ready to implode on itself, and the NFL is running the risk of losing a lot of fan support. That's very true. James Quinn, and I wrote that about James Quinn being the sports lawyer. But what I did not do, sorry about that, I got to go back to my live blog part because I was going on my Zinni 62 part there. Okay, now I'm back to the other one. All right, let me check something while I'm doing this. I just want to make sure. Info and settings. Ta-da. And yeah, okay, cool. We are cool. Back doing the watch page. All right. So Now we've got Hector Vasquez goes over the news, and he's like, "You got it? Okay." Hector says NFL must be worried. Hector, NFL is worried. NFL is worried. You've got everyone sitting up and taking notice because, again, you don't have the St. Louis lawyer war chest, for want of a better term, lacks stars. They don't have anybody you've ever heard of. This is entirely different. This is a big deal move. This is a big cojones move, okay? That's what this is. Now, James McClendon says, James Quinn sounds like the Perry Mason of attorneys. You could say that. Octavia Arias says, hope fans force Davis to stay and condition the city for a new stadium. Donut says the Vegas fans will be pissed. Already are. But look, anybody could see this coming. I know some of you people watching are Vegas fans. Anybody could see this coming, okay? Some of you watching are sports people, sports media types. Anyone can see this coming. That was paying attention. And just ask anybody, right? And let's see here. Ector asks, Corey Brown. Hello, Corey. Corey Brown says, if the courts allow us to keep the name, the Bills could be the new Raiders. Yeah, there you go. What do you all think of the sound of that? The Buffalo Bills moving to Oakland, and in the spirit of Ralph Wilson being one of the birth fathers of the AFL, acquiring the name of the Raiders to honor the Raiders' legacy as one of the first AFL teams establishing its presence in its life in Oakland. What do you think of that idea? All good with John Raiders, he says. And Golden State says, when am I next flying to the Bay Area? I don't know. John Mark says, sorry, Donkey, the Donkey Punch. Donna says to my presented idea of the Bills moving to Oakland and taking on the Raider name, hell no. Donis, why not? Is that what you're saying hell no to? Donkey says, John Mark says, good for Oakland fans, bad for fake Vegas fans. ML Scott says, that sounds nice, but I want my players to. I get you. But see, by the time this all comes around, the squad will be different. You know, I understand that one would want to put the current squad and say, okay, we're keeping them. But look, in 3 years' time, the current squad will be dramatically different. Look, NFL squads turn over by what? I think 40% annually. So on that basis, over 3 years, you've got a completely new squad for the most part. You've got, that's generally how it happens. Think about Derek Carr alone. Did you realize Derek Carr could become, he could become a free agent. Looks like we're headed toward that. And some team could pick him up next year. Next thing you know, Derek Carr could be a Bronco. No. Did I say that? Next year, Derek Carr could be a San Diego Charger. That's more possible. All right? Now, as far as the mayor, I don't expect to see the mayor there, but they should invite the mayor. I think it would be, now, if the mayor comes and she gets booed, whatever. But in terms of political protocol, the mayor should be there. There are a lot of Raider fans very upset with the mayor, but the City Hall is not only the house of the people of Oakland, it's also the mayor's house. And they would be just basically right below the mayor's office. Why not invite the mayor? I think that's the right thing to do. If the mayor doesn't want to come, let that be the mayor's decision. But give the mayor the courtesy of speaking. It doesn't matter that she said, I don't want to be involved anymore, or whatever. Politicians say a lot of things. It's what a politician does that is to be judged, and politicians have the right to change their mind like any other person. Now, Don Dorian says, hell no, Zenny. Oh, excuse me. He's talking about Carr. That's what he's talking about. And Golden State Raider says, Zenny, we're going to cover the Raiders training camp. I got you on the pass. Hey, thank you, Golden State Raider. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Golden State, you're a stand-up guy. Hector says, I got Hector's comment. Donus says Carr is his dude, responding to my idea about Carr being traded. James McClendon says if we keep the Raider name, how about we get a brand new expansion team? But what about slapping it on the Bills? Octavio Arias says Carr will sign with the Raiders. Dorian says hell no Zenny to the Carr observation. Hector says, nah, he's going to be $25 million a year quarterback. The Sports Fury remarks, I would really enjoy seeing the Raiders win a Super Bowl before leaving. That'd be great. A great, send-off. Octavio says, Schaff misspelled Libby's name. It's Schaaf. It's not how you're spelling it. And says, Schaff does not want the Raiders to stay. That's not true. John Mark says, that's what will happen in 1980 to Sports Fury. Hector Vasquez says, how about Larry Reed? Don't know if they reached out to Reed either, but they should. Sports Fury says the fans deserve it. Donus says, is the City Hall close to Clay Street? Yeah. Let me show you the map, okay? Let me show you a City Hall map of where things are going to be. In fact, I'll do it in 3D so you have an idea, okay? Oakland City Hall. In fact, you know what? Give me one moment, folks. I need some water because it's hot up here. I'll be right back, okay? Phew. Boy. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Back. Okay. Now, let's see here. Tonky says, hey, Zenny, too bad you cannot be there tomorrow. They need every great mind and ideas to keep our team. Yeah, but you know what? The core is there. Hey, Donuts, I had to get some refreshments. I was about to. It's the temperature even now is in the 70s right now at night. The humidity is 80%. This is Georgia summer. Not like the Bay Area or wherever you may be, unless of course wherever you may be is hotter, which is possible. And now, as far as City Hall, I was going to show you where Oakland City Hall is and what it looks like. Plaza. I'll give you an idea of what to expect in the morning, and doing that. Excuse me. Trying to get the satellite to work here. City Hall, Franco Gara Plaza. There it is. And for some reason, it's not giving me what I want there. What I'm trying to get it to do here is come down to give me a satellite. It won't do it. Dang it. That is, try the directions part. Let's zoom in there. Oakland City Hall. Satellite. There's a satellite. There's 3D. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Zooming, okay. All right, so now I'm ready. Watch this, all right? This is Oakland City Hall right here. Bam, okay? That's Oakland. This is the Oakland City Hall. This is what we call Frank Ogawa Plaza, okay? Let's zoom in. Boom. Let's put this in position a little bit more here, okay? All right. This is Oakland City Hall Plaza right here. And there. That's City Hall Plaza, okay? These are the steps of City Hall right here, all right? These are the steps. This is Frank Ogawa Plaza right here, all right? Over here, this is Broadway, all right? That's Broadway. That's Telegraph. This is Broadway. This is what we call the Oakland City. This is the Dalziel building. This is right here. This is owned by the city of Oakland. This entire building, okay. And if you need coffee in the morning, Awaken Cafe is right here. Good place to get it. This place is good for wine. They're still open over there. All right. And little trivia for you. The City Hall design. You see the zigzags? Yuhei Lee, who designed this, actually took this from my runner-up design in 1979 at Skyline High School. I entered the design contest for this plaza. I'm griping just a little bit. Okay, now, back to the main point. This is the City Hall steps. This is where it'll be. Right there, okay? So let's see if we can rotate this around. Like so. There we go, yeah. Rotate it around. There you go. That's Oakland City Hall. This will be right on the steps at 10:30. All right? So the mayor's office is right here. 1, 2, this is the third floor. This is the mayor's office. Actually, that is the secretary, and the mayor's office is here. So the mayor will have a view right below, right there, okay? This is the city administrator's office right here, okay? So there you go, all right? And that's the main entrance, okay? So that's the center of things, and so we get a little bit closer. Now, Donis, you're in a wheelchair, so you can see. I'm gonna show you where you need to come up, all right? You can come up on these grounds here, right? And if you need to come up on these steps, there's a ramp on the side, all right? Let me drill down here and go down here, all right? Like that. You see that? See how that's laid out and designed, okay? And now what will happen is that, and this is why I encourage you to get there early, because they'll have a podium here, and the media will fill up with cameras here, all right, and here. You want to get there at 9:45 so you don't get crowded out, because all this space is going to be taken up by Raider fans, all right? So that's what you're looking at, okay? So there's your idea of what to expect. That is your aerial view and map of Oakland City Hall Plaza, and I hope that helps out, okay? I hope that helps out. Now, Corey Brown says the whole 49ers thing with the gold is more fitting to Vegas image. Raiders are coastal. And John Marks agrees, and he says he knows the area. So that's how things lay out, all right? Now, somehow we got a little freeze here. Let me come back here. And we are... Oh, there we go. Okay. Corey Brown says, I wonder if all those companies that signed on as support for the Raiders staying, if they would back this legal effort to keep the team moving now. Yeah, that is under Jim Wonderman, the man who is Jim Wonderman. I'm writing his name right here. Wunderman is the CEO of the Bay Area Council. And the Bay Area Council is a kind of a regional chamber of commerce, okay, of sorts. All right. So he's the person that was at, for those of you who were at the fan rally on the weekend before the vote, he was there off to the right over here with the dark glasses. And he's the person that Ray should reach out to for assistance in getting those businesses to pony up some money. And it'll be very historic. Very historic. In fact, let's see what people are saying on Twitter just for grins, right? Go to Twitter and see what's happening here. Hey, where's Barry Lee, by the way? We haven't seen Barry Lee. We haven't seen King Jose at all. So let's see what's going on here with respect to Raiders. If I type Raiders right now, I take Raiders. Hey, guess what? This is how prominent this is right now. Look at this. All right. We've got, if you type Raiders, we have Raiders of the Lost Art, Raiders Lawsuit, Raiders Stadium, Raiders of the Broken Planet. So let's type Raiders Lawsuit and see what we get. Bam. And we have people I've never heard of, like Roy Anderson saying, Leeson, they have followed the NFL protocols. I'm honestly not sure how an antitrust lawsuit would help Oakland. In the Raiders of Oakland doesn't matter, this topic and more. Embattled, quote, fans. Entitled fans trying to bring litigation to keep their name in Oakland. This topic and more. Entitled fans. That's interesting. And someone says, I don't believe that's what this lawsuit is all about. And then this Jason asks, who accepts financial responsibility should a judge declare the upcoming lawsuit against the Raiders and NFL be tagged as frivolous? And I seriously doubt that'll happen. And so let's see here. We've got, Kamala Harris. I don't know about that. And let's see here. Lawsuit is one thing. Basic common knowledge about the Raiders' origin is another. Don't blur them. So that's interesting. So those are some of the top. Thing is, they haven't filed a lawsuit yet. So that's when we say Raiders lawsuit, that's what you're looking at. Now let's take this another way. Raiders. Well, let's see here. Let's say Oakland Raiders. Let's see what we get. Oakland Raiders. All right. And boom. We've got top Raiders. That's the top Raiders of all time. Then we got top here. And let's see here. Sundays. Let's see here. The for sale sign has been replaced, making progress. That's the Raiders are coming. That's in Vegas, obviously. Followed by something like Pro Football Focus. And Best in the West. And some other stuff that's got nothing to do with the lawsuit at this point. Except, look at this. Khalil Mack is showing off his strength during some team bonding time. It's more like Fight Club. What the heck is all that about, man? That's hilarious. Wait a second. Okay, Khalil Mack is registered, boy. Look at that. Look at that one more time. That's hilarious. That's Khalil Mack for you, folks. That's hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious. Derek Carr. Okay, so we've got nothing here mentioned about tomorrow's great event. Or, if you like, today. That's top. We take latest. All right. And, yeah. Nothing under training camp there. Raiders. Nope. and this. So we have precious little under Oakland Raiders, all right? Now, this is, look at this. Blank Vegas, you are cheering for the death of Raider Nation in a neutral stadium filled with the enemy. There. Then, we got kind of a little argument there. That's 28 minutes ago. Then, Oakland Trader t-shirts. Are you pissed? There, all right. So, and then there's me. More Raider fans in LA than Oakland. Huh. Penguins, there we are. Hey. Time for a retweet, folks. All right. So we've got, once again, Raiders NFL fans make history. Let's see here. And the pick is in. I love this dude. And we've got, yeah. Don't have much on there yet. We don't have much on there yet. So we gotta, so there's how it shakes out in terms of Twitter version of social media right now. Now, we haven't looked at the other thing yet, and we will. In fact, I'll go to Facebook in a second here, and I'll look at what Grizz has posted, okay? Now, is Barry here? Are we Barry Strong? Wait a minute. Are we Barry Strong, John? Are we Barry Strong? Hold on a second. Are we Barry Strong? I don't see Barry. Where's Barry? Anyway, okay. James McClendon says, Zinster. Now I'm really curious how Oakland Raiders are making history. Well, it's the Raider fans, okay? And it says Oakland Raiders NFL fans make history. And the history comes from the fact that this is the first fan-driven, grassroots, legal effort ever against an NFL team. And past relocations have been led by, well, let's take the most famous one, obviously, the first Raider relocation to Vegas. Excuse me. Oh, Jesus. Los Angeles. Excuse me, Jesus Christ, for using your name that way. Los Angeles. That wasn't fan-driven. That was city-driven. City of Oakland-driven. You think of Cleveland. When I think of Cleveland and Art Modell, I think of Cleveland Mayor Michael White. When I think of St. Louis, I think of, again, a coalition. I think of the St. Louis Sports Commission in that instance. Oakland does not have a sports commission. So all of those examples are municipal or government agency led. This one is not. That's a big deal. And yet they've been able to attract two of the top sports lawyers in the world, not just the country, the world. That's doing something. And they're here in Oakland. Or I should say there, because I'm not there, all right? And Sitan says that video when team went go-kart racing in past Friday. And Corey Brown says, where can I view tomorrow's press conference? I'll have photo and video up, not a live stream, because I don't have a way of allowing someone to make a live stream like this one and have a remote account yet. For example, if you were a manager on my account, I don't know that you could do live stream. I need to research that tonight. I will later, because that's an important something to be aware of. I know that there are people who can have manager status on my channel and upload videos, but I don't know that that's extended to live stream. I haven't seen where it explicitly is. It would be nice if it is. I'll check that. Now, Corey Brown says, he asked the question, James McClendon says he apologizes for the typo. Oh, I see. I think I answered that, but did I answer your question? Octavio says, better than the city not involved. Yeah. Donus says, David versus Goliath. Exactly. it is a perfect David versus Goliath situation. Octavio Arias says somebody else might be live streaming. Yeah, I don't know who though, and that's important to find out because, for example, the 66th Mob has a Facebook page, and I'd be happy to help essentially rebroadcast their Facebook live stream if someone's doing it. I need to find that out. I'll find out later tonight. So if they're doing it, it would be great for us to team up in that way. Yeah, as a group, right? So it'd be fantastic. And Dr. Death will be there. Donis, Dr. Death will be there. I'm sure he'll be doing something on his Periscope. So let me. In fact, you know what? Let me see if Dr. Death is available. Call the people. Let me get on Skype and see if I can gain the ear of Dr. Death. I maybe. It's worth firing up Skype to see if we can get a hold of the legendary Dr. Death, right? Let's see what happens here. That means I'm going to have to turn on this legendary speaker that I have to make this equally legendary outreach Skype call, right? Now, note that this is a total shot in the dark. Dr. Death is not expecting me to do this, right? So, hey, Robert, how are you? And then we have... McLean says it speaks to our unique fan base. He's right about that. To attract high-profile lawyers. And yes, I answered your question. Thank you very much. I appreciate that I did. ML Scott says, did you see the tweet with Dr. Death being dragged on the plane? No. What? No. This is... What are you talking about? Not our Dr. Death. Maybe another one. No. No, I didn't see that. At all. That bears Dr. Death being dragged on the plane. Dragged on the plane from the terminal? Was this something in the past? What do you mean there? I'm curious. And hey, Go Warriors is chiming in on Skype. He's doing something. He says hello everybody. And I'm gonna go out to Ray Perez. Excuse me. Raymond Perez is away. I'm going to try calling him anyway. Skype Dr. Death Show. Let me fire up the music here. There he is. Hold on a second. Dr. Death Show. Calling. Connecting. And bing, 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 bing. You hear that? Bleep, bleep, bleep. Trying to connect, not getting anything. It's ended. No answer. Let's try one more time. Let's see here. Call. Let's give him a call there. Raymond Perez. Let's see here. Ray. There's Raymond Perez. And let's see here. Call 1 hour. Older message. No answer. I can't get a hold of the dude. He's unreachable. Mr. Perez is unreachable. Let me try his mobile. Hey, Big Eightful, how you doing? Hold on a second. A little noisy there. We're calling Dr. Death. And it's 10:02 at night. Pacific, 1:02 in the east.
You've reached Ray Paris. I am unable to get to the phone right now. Please leave a message and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Cool? Dr. Death, are you going to be there tomorrow? I am told you are going to be at the press conference. Will you be periscoping and live streaming? If so, I'd like to, by the power of YouTube Live, give you an occasional shout out there. I won't be here. So give me a tweet back or a text. And, don't text. Give me a tweet back and say if you're around, if you want to talk. But it's 10 o'clock. You're probably asleep, getting ready to wake up tomorrow. So we'll talk tomorrow. All right. So I'm going to hang up. So there you go. Try Dr. Death. And it was a spoof. Emil Scott says it was funny. It's a spoof. Crawford says, talking about Dr. Death being dragged off or on a plane. That's the part I'm not getting. You write, did you see the tweet with Dr. Death being dragged on the plane? On the plane? That's what I'm trying to get. Is he being dragged onto the plane? Or is he being dragged while he's on the plane? Or is he being dragged on the top of the plane? There are 3 different ways to look at that. Which is it? It can't be all at once. Which is it? Emil says it's a meme. Big Eightful says, what's up, Zensters? How you doing? I'm late. How did the Oakland Raiders fans make history? Well, this is the first truly grassroots effort of challenging an NFL relocation ever. That's ever. And that's the first. So, I should say first truly large-scale effort. Not that fans haven't gotten involved before. They have, but they've never been the lead dog. It's always been a mayor of a city or a municipal agency, but not a fan group. No. A ragtag group of people that could be thought of as like the resistance. Here's Ray. Hold on a second. Dr. Death. How are you?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, man, I'm on live stream. We were all wondering if you're going to be there tomorrow, and I was going to look at your Periscope and then put your Periscope on live for occasion. Not too much because, of course, for obvious reasons. But I wanted to get your thoughts on tomorrow, and you can say hi to everybody from where you're at. If I'm catching you out of the blue, I apologize, but
no, it's all good, man. I thought I had your number stored.
Oh.
The only reason I knew it was you is I recognize your voice.
Oh, I called. Yeah, I called you on Skype Live. That's the thing. I called you. I was like, hey, yeah, but
okay.
Hey, everybody, Dr. Death is on. Hey, what do you think about tomorrow?
Oh man, it's big.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm with my buddy Russ Rivera here.
Whoa, Russ! I just talked to Russ the other night. Tell Russ I said hello.
Hey, Sammy, how are you?
Pretty good, man. Good to hear your voice. Excited for tomorrow.
You too, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll be there tomorrow for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, man. I'm pumped. From what I'm hearing and the little tidbits, I said, okay, it's on. And let me tell you why it's on, right? It's because we have Mark Davis as an owner. If it was Stan Kroenke or Paul Allen or Stephen Ross as our owner, I think we'd have a little bit of an uphill climb. But because we have Mark Davis as an owner, I think we have a legitimate fighting chance, and we have one of the best lawyers in the country.
Isn't that in the world? Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Yeah.
In the world. And you know what? And I'm about to do a Periscope in just a minute.
Sure.
But here's what I want people to understand. Look, the NFL, they're their own municipality. They're their own conglomerate, their own monopoly. They can create their own rules. They can bend their own rules.
Right.
But when it comes to the law and the United States government and the United States law, there's no bending or breaking or making sweetheart deals where you can get cashed out. No. We are talking about the law, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
And this is where we have a fighting chance here.
Yep, that's right. Absolutely. I could not have said it better myself. Hey, are you going to have a speaking role? I was encouraging you. I was saying, hey, get Dr. Death up there.
You know what?
John Mark says hello. Everybody says hello, Dr. Death, by the way.
Hello, I said hello. I appreciate that. Here's the thing is, I respect my role.
Yeah.
If people ask me to do it,
right.
Sure. But I respect the process. I respect the hard work that people have done this jointly because this is a community effort.
Amen.
And if people want me to speak, hey, great. If I need to be there just to look cute, great. If they want me to hold the camera to take pictures for everybody, great. Because this isn't about me. This isn't about you.
Mm-hmm.
This is about
That's right.
us and how we can get it done.
Okay.
That's all I care about.
And
you know what, Danny?
I second that, by the way. I second that.
But you know what? We all have our own respective rules, and you know what? I'm out for effing blood right now, okay?
Yep.
Because this is our culture. This is our future that was taken from us over greed. Well, you know what? This is so Oakland of us. We're not done yet.
That's right. And Ellie, I want to add, you said taken. It hasn't, not yet. The Raiders are still here. And what I love, and what I've told people tonight, and the reason why I say this makes history is, this is the first truly fan-driven act against a relocation plan ever in the NFL's history. It's always been a municipality, a government agency, a mayor, but in this instance, it's truly fan-driven. It's really cool.
And isn't it just so fitting that this is Oakland
Yep.
taking part in this?
Yep.
That this is Oakland doing this?
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it really is. I mean, Robert Mitchell says hi, Dr. Jeff. And everybody is excited. Rick Rice says Dr. Death got me feeling alive. Donkey punches to Mark Davis. You got everybody fired up, man. They're all fired up.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I really can't wait.
Hey, what time's your Periscope start tonight?
I was gonna do it, but then right when I went to go log on my Periscope, I saw I got a missed phone call, and I said, "Oh, who's this?" And I was like, "Oh,
It's me."
So when I got yeah, you know what, Denny?
Yes, sir.
Just let me know whenever you're done ending, so that way, you know, whenever you end, I can start back up on my Periscope.
Okay, cool. I just got a couple of questions for you. First of all,
Yeah, of course.
what do you think of the fact that the Raiders have not signed the non-relocation agreement in Las Vegas, and that is a linchpin for the financing? Without that, it really hurts the financing structure.
Wait, you know what? I was distracted because Russ has your YouTube of you talking to me right now.
Oh,
So I'm like looking at you laughing right now, right? So can you restate that question so I can put a full thought into this?
Yeah, sure. Plus there's a delay. That's the other part of it is a delay. What do you think of the fact that the Raiders haven't signed the non-relocation agreement that the Las Vegas officials want them to sign?
You know, there's a couple dynamics, right? So like, I've tried staying away from it ever since they filed for relocation and they got accepted. But first, I would ask, does UNLV have anything to do with that, or is that mutually exclusive? Because they're paying rent, the Raiders are not.
Right.
So, is that a holdup?
No. Well, that is a holdup. Yeah, that is a holdup.
So that's what I'm saying. Or is that a mutually exclusive holdup from what you just asked me? You know, or do the Raiders feel like there's no rush? They're going to be stuck in Oakland for the next 2 years. We'll get it done when we get it done. Because I mean, this whole
Well, that's a good question.
process
I can take those questions. Yeah, in fact, that's a good question. First of all, there's a document deadline of October 17th. First, A. B, if the Raiders don't get all the documents signed, the power to take the project turns to UNLV according to the Southern Nevada Tourism and Improvement Act. Now, if there are two things that hold there's the issue regarding non-relocation is not directly tied to UNLV, but they both together can stop, or separate can stop the effort. How? Every single, when I was explaining to my viewers, and I'll say it again, every single recent stadium financing deal, including the Falcons deal, has within it the Falcons to sign, which they've signed, a non-relocation agreement. Why? Because it's a 30-year bond issue. All right? So they being the bond underwriters want to know the team is going to be there in place. They're not going to make noise about running away. So it's not just right. Every single organization has signed it except the Raiders. The Raiders have not signed theirs. And earlier, about I believe a month ago, some noise was being made about the Raiders not signing it and not having to sign it, and the NFL not wanting them to sign it, which I thought was odd. I would say, why would anybody from the NFL put out that kind of message when the Falcons had no problem signing theirs? Okay, that's a big issue because that would really, really throw a monkey wrench in the financing issue. That's the first thing. UNLV to me is equally large because the Raiders. Look, Ray, you know how many times the Raiders have balked about sharing the stadium with the A's. How are they going to share the stadium with UNLV? I'm still not seeing that. You know, so they've got, and then the other issue for me is I don't believe they can gain the number of sponsors they need to pay off that Bank of America loan as compared to if they were the Atlanta Falcons in this great metropolitan area where you have Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, and IBM to name some of the large companies that are headquartered here.
Zenny, you can stick your head out of... Look, I'm at the Hilton right now, right?
Yeah.
In Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
I can stick my head out of the window and see multi-million-dollar startups that crowdsource $300 million in a year.
Yeah.
If a startup can do that in the Bay Area,
mm-hmm.
why the hell can a National Football League organization
mm-hmm.
do that
mm-hmm.
in this economy? Look, with all due respect to Las Vegas, because I don't want people to think, oh, I hate Las Vegas. Look,
mm-hmm.
I don't hate Las Vegas.
Me neither.
I don't hate
Me neither.
LA. Right? If the Raiders tried going to Sacramento, I would hate that too, but
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't hate my own city, okay?
Right.
With all that being said, people don't go respectfully to Las Vegas to go win money.
Right.
They just don't.
Mm-hmm.
You come here to the Bay Area and you invest. I always talk about an I word, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys have ever watched my Periscopes, there's an I word.
Mm-hmm.
Invest.
Mm-hmm.
Involve.
Mm-hmm.
None of that pertains to Las Vegas. And when you are thinking about making money, it's
mm-hmm.
off of either people losing their own money
yep.
or hoping people come to your hotel and spend their money.
Right.
It's never about investments.
That's true.
I think there's something wrong with that picture.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
1,000%. And that's a great observation because it points to a kind of an area that's more a sieve. You know, in other words, money goes in and money goes out, but it doesn't stay and grow. Right? Now,
it's sustainable, right?
Now, arguably, from an urban planning perspective, I can argue that it's trying to become, and I know Steve Hill would definitely say that the region is trying to transform itself into that kind of urban area. But there's an argument to be made that it's not there yet. Okay? Hence all of these different moves. But I think, in general, I think you're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah. So,
and I think the one thing that is getting away from everybody,
mm-hmm.
because here's what is clouding people's judgment and is giving them a shallow depth of perception.
Mm-hmm.
And the word that's really is eluding or escaping this grandiose plan that's worth billions of dollars
mm-hmm.
is sustainability.
Yeah.
Not over 2 years or 24 months,
mm-hmm.
3 years. We're talking over a 30-year span and being sustainable.
Now, when you say that, I'm going to have to question
with a straight face.
Because I know what sustainability is, and you know what it is. But for the person out there who may be 17 years old or 14, and we do have viewers who are that way, what is sustainability?
Sustainability is, can you last through up, and tell me if you can put it in better terms.
Okay.
Can you last through up and down economic times? Like here in the Bay Area, even though we have...
I think you put it well. I think you put that well. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. Let's say here in the Bay Area, we went through a major recession,
mm-hmm.
but people were still able to sustain themselves for the most part.
Right.
Here in the Bay Area, we recovered very well.
Mm-hmm.
You want to build a 2-story house in the Bay Area in Oakland, in the hood,
mm-hmm.
and compare it to Las Vegas during an economic recession, you tell me which is going to have the most resale value, or it's going to hold its value over a long period of time. Where are you going?
Oakland has one of the hottest markets in the country. There you go.
Exactly. And so where can you go and what's the word? Go through a recession
mm-hmm.
and still have jobs that you can make 6 figures and still not necessarily need a college degree. Because
mm-hmm.
I have friends here that work in the gaming industry.
Mm-hmm.
I have friends that work in pharmaceuticals that are making 6 figures that don't have college degrees,
mm-hmm.
but have high equity in their homes.
Yep.
And yet, I'd have to beg the question: Can you? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. In Las Vegas, can you hold the same value of a home that you do here in the Bay Area? And this is no disrespect to anybody.
No.
We're talking about economics.
Right. No, and I think right now the argument is no. Again, Las Vegas is an urban area that is growing without question. It's not growing to the extent of Orlando or the Frisco, Texas area where Dallas Cowboys headquarters is. But on the other hand, those are smaller areas. But it is growing, no question about it. It has some challenges. It has a great deal. It has a great many. But is it a step backward in terms of market size and power to the Bay Area? Without question. I mean, to me, Vegas is the show money place. It's the place you go when you want to show off and make people think you've got money. But then there's the Bay Area where people really do have money,
And we can go over this over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And I mean, it's just like just on the surface. When they're expecting, how many shows are they expecting? Like 50 shows in a
46.
year?
46 large
46 events. There's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah, I know.
So you're almost going to have one major event a week. And I'm not talking like 5,000, 10,000, 12,000. I'm talking about 50 to 60,000 fans every week showing up to your event. And then what happens if you don't meet that threshold? Then what? But then here's the thing, Zenny. We see people touting 1 month of, we're above revenue that we're expected. We're above expected revenue. So, okay, so you're touting 1 month into a 30-year plan?
Well,
now,
I think
is this how we do business now?
Right. To be fair, though, they're talking about the hotel tax, and the issue I have with that is, and I told Steve Sisolak this, and I tell my viewers this, is that hotel tax is 88/100%, okay? And it should have been at 1.4%. Why? Because at 88/100%, there's always going to be that 1 month where you fall under or you're close. And they're already having that. If you take a look at the schedule of revenues that are coming in, it's got a downward slope, all right? And that's a problem. I think I just lost... Ray, you there?
No, I'm here.
Okay. Anyway, it's a downward slope. It's not upward. It's still above where they need to be, but the simple fact that they have to watch it so closely is because it's so close to the mark. Now, at 1.4%, they wouldn't even have to worry about whether or not they had enough revenue on a monthly basis. It would just... because it would be double, all right? But That's what they set themselves up for. There's so much this deal that spells done too fast. It's not funny. It is not funny.
And here's the thing. I'm about to say to my Periscope in a little bit.
Cool, yeah.
It's that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think one thing that you alluded to earlier in this conversation was there's all these milestones, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to make it seem like it's crazy that there's too many milestones, but there are a number of milestones that they have to hit, right?
Right. That's right.
And and some people will agree with me, or some people will not agree with me, excuse me. But can you look at me with a straight face and with firm belief saying, don't worry about it. Mark Davis and company will meet all those milestones like it's nothing.
No, I can't look at you. Really? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If you can look at me with a straight face, then
I can look at you with a crooked face like that. See, Russ? Okay.
Yeah. I see you. Yeah, I see you.
But crooked, no. Straight, no. Crooked, yeah. I'm going to look at you with a crooked face, yeah. Not straight. Just saying.
But Zenny, I do have to get.
Hey man, I'll catch you because I'm going to stop here in a little bit. I'll catch your Periscope. Okay. Watch Dr. Death on his Periscope, Twitter, right?
At 26 Dr. Death, and I'm going to have someone
Death.
Periscoping on my phone the press conference tomorrow.
Hey folks,
so I will be live tomorrow.
Dr. Death will be live, and I'll take Zenny62 on YouTube. I'll go over to his Periscope. We'll give you different scenes. Go to Dr. Death, see what's happening. Hey, Dr. Death, you're the only one that's live streaming, right? Or that you know?
Say that again?
Are you the only one that's live streaming that you know?
I believe so, because you're not going to be here, and I think me and you are the only ones that really do live streaming.
Yeah, that's true. So, Dr. Death's the man. I yield to Dr. Death.
Hey, likewise, Denny.
You got it, man. Hey, good.
Hey,
Thanks
you know
a
what
lot.
You gotta do, Denny?
Yes, sir.
Before I go, you know what you got to do?
Yes, sir.
Message Boltman and said, we got him.
I will. I'll do that. That's a
Because
good
remember,
idea.
he's the one that told us. He told us about Jim Quinn.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's right.
That's
Right.
right.
I'll do that. Right.
yeah.
I'll
All
do
right,
that.
man.
All right,
Well,
man.
let's
Thank
jump
you.
on
Hey,
the
thanks
Periscope and
for
I'll
chiming
talk to you.
in. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Okay, all right. See ya. Got it. So, folks, that is, or was, the legendary Dr. Death, Raymond Perez, who was kind enough to call back, as you heard, boo-doo-doo, and chime in. And he's got his Periscope tonight, and he's going to be live tomorrow at the event. And I'm going to take my Zenny62 on YouTube live stream, and I'll go over to his Periscope, and you'll see the world of the press conference from his point of view. I'll also have two people there, Bausman and Mike Lowry under Zenny62 Media. They're going to be there as well. So yeah, fun stuff. Now what do I miss here? Jabber, how are you? Jabber says most of the Raider history includes the Davis family. Even Al Davis was a Raider. I'll refresh this because I think some of these comments I see are coming on there old. And as I refresh, nope, they're not. Okay. Crawford says the Blackhawks' fortunes changed when Bill Wirtz passed. That's true. And we've got, and that was great. That was Dr. Death. That was Dr. Death. That was Dr. Death. Robert Mitchell says Mark Davis showed us he doesn't care about us, so why should we care about him? And then let's see here. John Mark says hashtag stay in Oakland, and Donis says tell Dr. Death I'll be there. Dr. Death, Donis will be there. Rick Rice says Vegas is too dependable on disposable income. It's going to bite them in the arse. And Jacob, I'm glad you're here. And this is pretty good. This is really great. Now Octavio says Raiders will not sign the relocation until all other agreements are signed. Octavio, I didn't see that. In fact, I have never seen it. In fact, I do not know anywhere where that says that has to be the order, okay? Because they only have so much time. They don't have all day. They don't have all year. So that can't be the case. And I know there's some consternation within Raider headquarters about what to do because if they've signed that non-relocation agreement, they're stuck. They have no wiggle room. They have no out at all. So I know that they're concerned about how to get around that. And if they're concerned about how to get around that with all the other myriad problems in this deal, I can see a scenario where they're just back out of it entirely. I can see that happening. Now, Maniac says, is there a good chance the colors and logos stay in Oakland? Well, that's the idea. Now, we've got Donis would be there. Let's see here. I have no idea who this other person is. Now, Jabber says, even with a lawsuit, Okori says, could Vegas sue for tampering or something of the sort? No, well, look, if Vegas can sue us for tampering, we can sue them for tampering because we have a bond issue that's outstanding that the Raiders are still responsible for helping us maintain a facility so that the bonds were easily paid off by revenues the Raiders would induce to be generated. So we could sue on a counter basis. So I don't think they would touch that, all right? And at all. I know. And not only that, the Raiders have not signed a non-relocation agreement. Not only that, the way Senate Bill 1 is written, if the Raiders decided to back out for whatever reason, there's no stipulation that an effort like this can't be the reason. The whole matter reverts to UNLV's power. UNLV wanted a new stadium anyway. They get a new stadium completely under their control. Fine. So, go and say, do you have Skype? Let's see. Dorian says, I get what you're saying, Jabber. My love for the Raiders started with Al Davis. He gives a lot of credit to Mark. And Robert Mitchell says, I didn't quite understand the rest of what he meant there. Robert Mitchell says, what's going to happen with all the facilities like the Alameda County facility, the Alameda facility and stuff like that? Robert, that's a good question. Right now, the Raiders own it. They're still going to use it for the foreseeable future. And that's how things are looking. Maniac 5900 says, is there a good chance the colors and logo stay in Oakland? I believe I answered that one. Crawford says, is the new people in Nevada actually rooting for the Raiders to back out of the deal? I do know there are some that are rooting for that, Crawford. I do know that for a fact. And I don't want to say who they are, but there are people in Las Vegas who do not like this deal for a number of reasons. Some people don't like the way they perceive the Raiders doing business. Others say, like Steve Sisolak, that's changing. There are other people who simply don't like that this much money is going to football when they have so many problems around public education, crime, and homelessness, like Oakland. So there are a number of reasons why there are people who would prefer this deal not happen in that way. And they believe that Vegas can get, as they received a privately financed NHL team, a privately financed NFL team completely. So there you go. Now, it's 1:29, and I'm going to... Oh, wow. This is new comments. Let's see here. We've got... James McClendon says, the NFL is chasing a desert mirage in Vegas. Jacob P. says, how long is a relocation document valid for? And I don't think it's a matter of whether or not it's valid or not. Well, not as specifically. It's the deadlines that are placed with it, where in which these agreements have to be done. And if they're not done, then UNLV gets control of building the stadium, and the Raiders are, kind of timed out. So there's no relocation by that. All right. So now you've got Jabber says, I think the NFL is going to chase money from gambling. I read the market is worth $55 billion a year. And Jabber, yeah, I believe you're absolutely correct. And the NFL is relaxing a lot of previously draconian policies regarding gambling and advertising from hard liquor manufacturers. And this really is canning an eye toward Vegas and that kind of adult market out there. Hey, Ruben, how are you? How are you doing? And Jacob P. says, do you know when the relocation documents deadlines are? I believe October 17th of this year in total. I'll get you a firm deadline, but that's the one that sticks out in my brain right now. That's what sticks out in my brain right now. So we've got quite a few people going. It's 1:30 a.m. in the East here. And folks, I'm going to chime out at 1:40. This has been an outstanding stream. And I want to I'm just going back to the live control room because I'm thinking, how long have I been out here? 1 hour and 27 minutes. Yeah. So this has been a great, fantastic stream. It really has. And I'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. So come in. You tweeted. Wait. ML says he tweeted the meme. And Corey Brown asked, he said, the subject of how our local fan base is getting screwed came up at a police union meeting in Philadelphia. Wow. Scott tweeted the meme, and let's see here. I'm going to, speaking of Twitter and tweeting, I'm going to tweet this out, Raider Nation. Hey, if anybody's on Twitter, I am about to Nation. And I just tweeted that new tweet out. If you could retweet that, that would be fantastic when you hear this. Now, let's see here, and I'll put this out on Google+. And for those to use Google. And bam, that's out there. Now, and I want to go over to Twitter to get the what ML Scott sent over. He said you tagged me rather, and now I'm anxious to see this. Let's see here. 3 tips to use social media back and take your business to the next level. Did you use any 62 ML? I don't see it yet. 20 minutes ago, E3 conference. 21 minutes ago, 21:22. I still don't see it. Let's see here. It was 24. It was 24 minutes ago. No. And you swear I was tagged, right? Microsoft's Xbox One X is a boring black box. Interesting. I'm not seeing it, ML. Wait a minute. It says the tweet is unavailable. Hold on a second. Raider Matt. Maybe, oh, wait a minute. I see. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, look at this, folks. This is what he's talking about. This is Dr. Death, okay? Look at this. See this? All right. This says LA Sports for Life lawsuit coming. There's Dr. Death. That's messed up. That is messed up. Oh my God, that is messed up. That is messed up. They took the United Airlines photo and photoshopped it there. That is so wrong. Oh, that is wrong. And look at that's Dr. Death. That is hilarious. That's, boy. It's kind of a lousy Photoshop if you look at it. Look at that. Hey, Richard, we'll see you. That's hilarious. So there you have it. There's Dr. Death basically put into another type of celebrity status, being matched with the whole United Airlines controversy there. United Airlines is still the greatest airline in the world by my estimation. Of course, I have a bias. But there we go. 134. That's... Jabber says that is a good one, ML. Thank you, Money Lynch. Crawford says Supersonics fans could take notes and force the NBA to consider expansion sooner than they expected. It's a great point. And James McClendon... Corey says Vegas must go down and they must go down hard. Richard Hatch says he's late to the party. Richard, hey, sorry, yeah, you are late to the party, man. John Mark says I want Vegas deal to die. He doesn't want Vegas to die, just the deal. Crawford says, John, any day before the deadline would be even better. And James McClendon says, John Mark says October 17th is a historic day of sorts. Dan Dog says, see ya. And James McClendon says, I think it shows the unique fan base that we have here in Oakland for two high-profile attorneys to take on this particular case. Yes. And we have, let's see here, GSR, are you there? Golden State Raider, did you leave? And John Mark says, yes, San Diego fans need to do the same, and I'll definitely reach out to the Bolt Man. And we've got Richard H. Hey, Richard, you're going to be at the press conference. So we've got Richard is going to be at the press conference, right? We've got Richard, Dr. Death. We've got Donis is going to be at the press conference. We've got Mike Lowry who's going to be at the press conference. We've got Russell's going to be at the press conference. He's listening with Dr. Death, Russell Rivera. We've got Rivera right there. We've got the Richard. Oh, of course. We've got a number of people here that am I losing my mind or something? I know John says John's not going to be there. And we've got two other people that are on this stream that said they were going to be there. And now I'm just flying, all this is flying out of my mind, and I'm like, anyway, and I will just say, and two others. In case they chime in and say, you dummy, I'll be there. Robert Mitchell said he was going to be there, right? And Richard, you send me an email? Okay, cool. I'll get right back to you. And Jacob P says if the agreements for the Vegas relocation aren't signed by the deadline and the Raiders are forced to stay in Oakland, is the Ronnie Lott Group and Fortress still there to fund a new stadium? They still have the exclusive negotiating agreement, and it will not have ran out by then, I do not believe. Now, and James McClendon repeats, I think it speaks very well how unique this Oakland fan base is for these two high-profile attorneys to take on this particular case. I agree, and I quite agree. And Rich, as soon as I get out, I'll check out the email that you sent. And no, the Dr. Death live stream is starting. Hey, folks, I'm going to chime out in a few minutes. Boss Man will be there. Grizz will be front and center. Both will be at the podium. Go over to Dr. Death's stream on Twitter. As soon as you get off here, I'm going to sign out in just a few, like maybe what? I'm going to start waving now. Good night, everybody, because it's 1:38. Go and see the Dr. Death show on Periscope. That's 26 Dr. Death. And we will see you all tomorrow. And as Crawford371 would say, you can bet your last money. It's all going to be a stone gas, honey. And I am not Don Cornelius. I'll see you guys. ML Scott says he's already there. He's at the Dr. Death live stream. I'm going to head over there. Good night, everybody. Hey, no, you the man, Rick Rice. You the man. Thank you, Crawford. You all, thank you. And John Marks, Crawford, Barry Strong. Hope Barry's doing well. Thank you all for tuning in and making this so much fun and everything else. And didn't see Federico with his normally $2 donation, sometimes $5. Hey, love the money. Ruben, good night, Ruben. Good night, Jacob P. See you tomorrow on the stream. Jacob, you got it. I will be here. Quite excited. Robert, good night. Robert, you're going to be there too, right? Yeah. You notice how I was waving and I did this, right? See that? I did that. When I meant to do that. It's funny. I can wave this and I was like, hey, Robert, you're going to be there, right? I can do this. Does this mean I can't walk and chew on and say, hey, Robert, you're going to be there, right? Great. So I am, using I'm waving here. I'm using this. Right? No collapses tomorrow. That's right. Good night, everybody. Good night. I'll see you guys. All right. That's right. Stone Gas. And remember, go to Waken Cafe and get a cup of coffee on the way. Tell them Zinni sent you. Waken Cafe is on the other side of the building on Broadway. Just walk in and say, hey, Zinni sent me. He says the coffee there is great. I do say that. I'll see you guys. Yeah, my arm is not tired, actually. Hey, look, folks. Look, Dub Nation, right? Strength in numbers. Thank you. Strength in numbers. Go Warriors. See you guys. All right. Warriors win by 10. Good night, everybody. And I will zoom in on you. And I'll see you. All right.